Hey, welcome everybody. This is Amy. Welcome back to Building Memories, a weekly live update of the progress for Standing Pines Resort. You may have noticed that I'm trying a slightly new format today. If this works as intended, we're broadcasting live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now. So very excited to try this out and see how it works. It does mean that some of the video that I'll be showing you is not technically live. I went out and recorded it just before starting this live stream while the crews were on lunch break. So I'll be very curious to get some feedback and see if you guys like this. I also think this is going to work well for some plans we have for the future, in including some additional guests and some other fun things as we go through the next several weeks. But for today, let's talk about the Welcome Center, because we've had a lot of progress on this and I can't wait to share it with you. First though, just for those who may be new to the show, Standing Pines Resort is now under development, scheduled to have our grand opening December 1st of this year and accepting reservations through December 31st of next year, 2025. We do have a number of guests who have already taken advantage of our special soft open preview period starting October 15th of this year. So we are also accepting reservations for those dates, just with kind of the notice that we're not entirely confident everything will be done by middle of October. So those guests who stay with us early may or may not have all of the amenities available just yet. So very exciting. Looking forward to continuing to see additional reservations pop up as more and more guests schedule their first visit to Standing Pines Resort. So for those who may be watching for the very first time, what exactly is Standing Pines Resort? Well, it is a new development near Hartsville, South Carolina. We're 15 minutes from Coker College, 15 minutes from the Governor's School, 15 minutes from the global headquarters of Sunoco, 15 minutes from Neptune Island Regional Water Park, and we're about 30 minutes from the intersection of Interstates 95 and 20 here in South Carolina. When we open later this year, we'll open with 109 campsites and a wide variety of amenities intended to create a really nice destination vacation experience for our guests. You can see on the screen here, we'll have a variety of different kinds of campsites. And if you'd like to learn more about those, I'll link to episode 2, where we did kind of a deep dive into the different types of campsites available for guests at Standing Pines. So today we're going to focus on the Welcome Center, and I am quite excited about the Welcome Center because this is really one of the core pieces of the resort. The Welcome Center is where we're going to have a lot of the stuff for our guests, and it's really going to kind of set the tone, I think, from the moment a guest pulls up to our entrance. It's also been one of the pieces that's changed the most as we've gone through the development process. And the reason for that is, although our focus on guest comfort and guest convenience has remained pretty intense, as we've benchmarked more, learned more, tried to figure out how to make this thing happen, we really just figured out better ways to do things. So we'll look a little bit later in the live stream today at the actual floor plan and show you some of that, as well as footage from just before this live stream of where we are in construction right now. So let's take a look at the overall big picture first. This is drone footage from just last week. My husband was out in the field getting a view from the sky. And this is super exciting to me because it really starts to show off the future of the resort. Over on the left, you can see the pond is beginning to take shape. No water in it yet. We're not quite done digging, so it'll come. And you can also see, and this is really super exciting for me, kind of nerd out about it, the official real roads, not the construction roads that we've been using as we're developing this, but the actual location of our future roads are now visible from the sky. So I added the names of those roads in there. And you can also see here where the Welcome Center is. And I think the very first thing to note is you can see Bethlehem Road. The Welcome Center is going to really be the first thing our guests see as they pull up to Standing Pines Resort. So we're excited for that to be a very good positive as you pull up and see the resort. The other thing I noted here, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute, are the 3 lanes for RV staging. So this means when you first pull up, if you're pulling an RV or rig behind you, all you have to do is drive in just a little bit and park and hop out, come check in, take advantage of some of the amenities, and then off to your campsite. So really looking forward to that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the video that's coming up. Oh yeah, you'll also see that the pool is right there at the Welcome Center, and we'll explore that in the video as well. Okay, so current status. Yesterday morning, I was up bright and early waiting for the crews to get here. Waiting somewhat impatiently, my husband might say. So they pulled up around 8 a.m. and started offloading equipment. And within an hour, had the first post set. So that was a super exciting moment for me to see this building actually start going up. So that was really, really great. You can also see that it did not take long for them to get that second post up, and we had our first pair of posts set. So you can tell that this was going to come along and move pretty quickly. Later in the afternoon, went back to check on them again, and the posts were up for 2 of the 4 walls. And then by the end of the evening, we had the tall wall post up. So essentially the main posts, not all of them, but the main posts were up at the first day of construction. You know, it's funny, this was like watching a giant build set, you know, the kids' toys where you put stuff together, only watching it go life size. So it was super cool. Okay, now I'm going to switch over here to, give me just a moment, share the video for today. Here we go. We'll hit share here and get this playing. So again, I recorded this footage just before starting the live stream, so this is not quite live, and this is kind of what you would see really right now if you were to drive along Bethlehem Road and check out our construction, which we've noticed some people are doing. So welcome. Glad you're interested enough to come and pay us a visit. Here is our current construction entrance. I will note this is not the final entrance for the campground. The final entrance will be quite a lot wider and will change significantly with asphalt and everything. But this is the current state of construction. So I was parked here for just a moment and talked about how as you drive up, this is where you'll run into those 3 staging lanes for RVs that I talked about earlier. Really just right there, you can see where the cones are. So instead, I'm turning on the future Standing Pines Loop to park. You know, get out and we'll walk up to the building. This is kind of weird talking about what I did just before the video, but it is what it is. Okay, so right here is what's going to be our mural wall. So this is the wall that's immediately visible from Bethlehem Road. This is our face to the world, if you will, for the future. We have deliberately planned no windows and no doors in this wall. Instead, the entire wall will be a canvas. And I am super excited about a local artist that we're working with who's going to help bring a dream to life on this wall. I've mentioned a couple of times before about some characters and some stories that I'm writing for Standing Pines, our forest friends. And very soon we'll be able to share some exciting news about that project and that effort. And those friends will show up on this wall. So that's going to be phenomenal to see over time. And I think it'll be one more way to invite guests in to see what is it we're doing over there and enjoy Standing Pines Resort even from the road. We will do some landscaping here. This should be a good place for guests who are visiting to do some social media posts and pictures here at this mural wall. So from there, let's walk to what will be the front entrance of the Welcome Center. And we'll take just a moment walking up again where those 3 lanes of RV staging will be once we have finished development. And we don't have, you know, big steel posts laying in the middle of what will be the road. As we walk around these, we're going to come up to basically the front of the Welcome Center. And here in this large framed opening will be a set of double doors. That's the welcome in with the sidewalk coming out to the 3 lanes of RV staging. So When you walk up and into the Welcome Center, you'll see multiple areas. In fact, I was kind of joking with my husband that we should have chalk marked some of these so you could see them better. But as you walk in the front doors, and immediately to your left, I'll wait for the camera to swing around. There we go. Immediately to your left, right there, where those two things are for the rough plumbing, that's the bathroom. And we did that very deliberately so that our guests who might want that amenity as soon as they got out of the vehicle, that's essentially the first thing you see when you walk in the door if you look to your left. Right here will be the registration desk, and that's where we'll check our guests in. That's also where we'll run the camp store. And if things get really busy, that person will help out at the snack bar as well. So swinging around to right, what you see when you walk in the door will be a few rows of shelves for the camp store. And we'll talk a little bit about what we'll stock later. But it's essentially the essentials, the things that you need that somehow I forget to pack when we travel, as well as some unique items. And then over here will be a wall of coolers and freezers for cold drinks and for food items that need to be kept refrigerated. So we do plan to offer those for our guests. And what we're going to do next is walk right through that future wall, because it's not there yet, and check out this backspace, which will be my office. So for the most part, I don't think our guests will notice or see this. But one thing I wanted to point out is a design detail, just one of those things that we spent some time thinking through, is while that wall will be solid for the mural wall, there will be a window here so that I can keep an eye on the flow of guests coming into the resort. And really this is to make sure that we can get resources to the front desk so that there's never a backup, so that as our guests are coming in, we can quickly and efficiently get them what they need to get onto their home away from home and get settled into their campsite. Now, as a bonus, I also am going to enjoy that nice view of the trees. That's going to be a really lovely view from the window. So from this space, which again is less a guest space and just kind of something to talk about from a design perspective, we're walking into the multimedia center. Now, this wall here is going to be where we'll put up 3 large screen TVs, as well as multiple gaming centers and some headsets. This is intended to be a multi-purpose space. There, 1, 2, 3 TVs, as I point them out, where kids can relax and game. Although my family likes gaming, so I guess I should say kids and adults can relax and game. It's also where we'll show some digital displays of different things going on in the resort and around the community. It's also where we'll use these display monitors when we hold classes or do crafting events in the Welcome Center. These will be one place for guests to follow along and follow the instruction that's going on. We'll have in this space a couple of couches right there and right there for guests to relax and chill. And again, that's really the intention of this space. Other than the times we're using it for classroom instruction, it's a place to relax. I do need to double check the blueprints and see if we have a window planned here. If so, guests who are chilling there will be able to look out and see where we plan to put our 9-hole mini golf course, so putt-putt course, themed to our forest friends. Yep, right there. And then in the distance, of course, is the pond. So depending on how many guests are checked into which campsites, those who are hanging out in the Welcome Center can look out and see to the water in the pond. Looking back towards the other side of the building will be 6 tables, each designed for 4 guests apiece. And while those are primarily for indoor dining for folks enjoying something from the snack bar and or hanging out enjoying one of our classes, that's also going to be good workspace. We'll have Wi-Fi here in the building for guests. And so for working professionals who need good internet connection, kids homeschooling or virtual schooling, or just those who need a place to sit and do a little bit of work or game or play, there will be tables here for that. There will also be seating space at the bar. And before we get to the bar, I'm going to stop and look out what will be the double doors that go out to the amenity area. I mentioned putt-putt. We're looking at gaga ball, several different things there. back to the bar. There's the ice maker, and there's the kitchen sink. And the bar will have seating. I believe we've got 8 stools assigned to the bar in the approved plans. And so that's primarily a snack bar. We are working with the state association to get our alcohol license for adult beverages. And we do plan to have those options available in some form, still working through that for our guests once we get our license. A neat feature and something that was very fun to design is a serving window right here. So as you look right there, where that sand is right now, where I'm pointing, that's the future pool. And so mere steps away from the pool will be the service window. So if you're enjoying swimming, kids are playing, you want to feed them, but you don't really want to bring them into the cold of the air conditioning, just come up to the window. You can order, you can pick up your food, everything you need right there. So now we'll turn back and walk out of the building and around to the side, because there's still 2 more things I want to show y'all here for the Welcome Center at this stage of construction. Okay, I'm turning back to it. Right here, there will be a door, and that'll get you into the guest laundry area. I know when I travel, I always appreciate the opportunity to clean everything before we come home, and I really like that I can cut in half what I have to bring with us on vacation if I know that I can clean clothes while we're traveling. Now this back wall is all bathrooms. It's 4 private bathrooms, individual walk-in private bathrooms. 2 of them are half baths with toilets and sinks, and 2 are full baths with the showers. So those are accessible to our guests 24/7. And then the other thing that we'll have right here, where it's still sand, nothing to mark it as anything special just yet, will be the 4 private outdoor showers. So that's kind of the video that was prepared for today. I'm going to stop sharing that and go back to the overall presentation. So that's kind of where we are with the Welcome Center Rises. You can see where we are in construction. I'm told that it won't be that long until we'll have walls and a roof. So probably next week, I'll do a very short video to show everybody the update after we hit the main topic. Okay, so I do want to spend just a little bit of time talking about the floor plan after I walk you through the space there. You can see it encompasses everything that I talked about, from that wall of coolers to the couple of rows of shelves of items for the camp store, the bathroom immediately at entrance, the place to sit and eat, multimedia center, the laundry, and then all the bathrooms. So from a guest perspective, what was very important was that every square centimeter of this building did something for our guests. It was something that made their vacation better, easier, simpler. So that really was critical to us when we designed this final floor plan, after going through at least a dozen iterations on the way. A couple of unique touches that we're working on. First is concept art, which I've been sharing in these videos. So we will have some concept art available in the store as well as on display. Then the Forest Friends, which again, you'll hear a lot more about. And then some kind of unique things that we're working through with some local small businesses, because we want to support our community. There's a super neat lady in town who's just opened a custom soap bar, and we've had some initial conversations. So it's very, very possible we'll have a unique Standing Pines Resort custom soap available, made locally here in town for our guests. We're also working with a local beekeeper, and perhaps not the first year, but by the second year, we want to have our own hives on site so that we can offer honey to our guests. I think we covered all the rest of this in the construction piece. But the other item I did want to highlight, and you can tell as I talked through it with the video earlier, is really the location for the Welcome Center. It's the first thing you see as you drive in from the public road. It's where most of those real key amenities like dining and store, laundry, bathrooms are located. And it's right there where we plan to put some key things like some of our sport courts, the putt-putt, and of course the pool. I do think we're going to see a lot of guests enjoying the different classes and crafts we're planning. And oh yeah, here's a bonus I was going to tell you all about. So I did talk about the mural wall, so that's exciting. But the other thing that we're playing with, and I'm looking forward to some feedback on this, is a possibility of express check-in. So for those guests who are all checked in, they're all good to go, and they might want to go just directly to their pre-reserved campsite, we are toying with the idea of allowing some express check-ins. So please drop a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Have you had good experience, bad experience? You think, yeah, let's do that, or no, really don't do that. Either way, just would really love to get some feedback and see what you think. All right, well, that's the Welcome Center Rising. So glad that you joined us for this video. Hope you liked the video tour of the construction and its current state to see where we are. Again, we are now accepting reservations. www.standingpines.com. Book your first trip to see us. And I'll sign off with just a reminder that we have 4 episodes already posted on YouTube and on our main website. We've got the blog post to go along with these, and we've got some future episodes planned. Some of the order may change depending on how different things shake out, but in coming weeks we'll talk about a very exciting thing we have planned, some more about the Forest Friends, explain exactly what a pump pack is, because I didn't know, and we'll also talk a little bit about the background of some of our communities. So I think that's all for today. I really appreciate you dropping in to spend this time with us, either live or for the recording. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you and your family come discover memories together at Standing Pines Resort. Bye, y'all.